Okay, welcome back to the bench. Today we're going to work on something different for me. I've been building all these crawlers and bouncers and trail trucks, but I've never built a racing RC car. So today we're going to build the ZD Racing B10E Thunder. Okay, it's a buggy, 4-wheel drive, 1/10 scale, and we're going to be using Quick Run's 10BL60 censored ESC for brushless electronic speed controller, 60 amp, and Quick Run's 3650 censored brushless motor, 13.5 turns. Okay, so that is going to be the electronics. Now this kit comes with a pre-painted body, pre-assembled front axles and suspension, pre-assembled rear axles and suspension, a wing, some decals, and a few transmission parts, I guess. The transmission may also be okay, so it's not a tough build, but it'll be my first racer. So get out the manual, check it out, see what we got. Got a few double-sided tape in there, and the assembly is differential assembly. The differentials are already assembled. The front lower arm is already assembled. The rear lower suspension arm, steering arm assembly, that's all done. Front uppers, assembling the uppers, everything is done up to, so we have to do the upper deck assembly. Not a whole lot to do. We need the motor. Alright, so we're going to have to, I think we'll solder the ESC to the motor first, and then start assembling all the rest of the stuff. Like I said, this is not going to take very long, except I don't know what I'm doing. So. Alright, now we got the wires soldered on. The next step is to put the motor Alright, so the hardware that comes with this is all Phillips head screws. So I'm going to replace them with hex head screws. If I can find them. Anytime you put the screws metal to metal, we use a little, they call it screw glue. I'm going to call it thread locker because that's what it is. It's not screw glue. Blue thread locker. Just you can get it off. And let's see where the spur gear rides. The pinion in, line it up. Should be able to get a piece of paper in between the gears. Done this enough, you pretty much know what that means. Alrighty, should be a set screw for the pinion, and I don't see one. That's pretty sad. Oh, there it is. Tiny. So tiny. All right. That bad boy is a 1.5 millimeter. The instructions are not the greatest in the world, guys. Doesn't show putting anything over the top of this that is holding this in place yet. All right, so now we have the axle. The rear housing or front. Front housing. Okay. All right, so that sets in there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Okay, a lot of flex here. And this must be the steering mechanism. Let's see. We have bearings that go on the 2 center posts. Alright, we got that on. Okay, so now everything is on this. Alrighty then, we have got it together. That is it. That is all it takes to put it together. The battery goes over here. Some pins for the battery. Okay, so this is not too difficult to put together because it's mostly put together. Which is okay, because if you just want to get a kit and quickly put it together so that you can get out and get racing, this is pretty flippin' good. I guess there's only one hole on one side for the battery thing. Okay. So, got lots of parts left over. These are the servo mounts. That makes no sense. There's a servo mount. I must have knocked it out of here. This is the cover for the receiver. It comes with a gasket. Makes it waterproof. And now I will be using a Fly Sky radio, and I will be using one of Amazon's 20 kg steering servos for now. See how this works. And as far as the, make sure this fits. Now I got a different horn for it. Saver, yeah, this is the wrong servo saver is too big. Actually, it has a piece that goes inside of it. Okay. If you need to put it on this, but I'm going to change the servo horn. One comes with the, that is metal. Where the heck did I just throw all that stuff? There it is. Like this. So we'll put that on in place of the other one. Alright, so putting this together is not that big a deal. Really goes pretty quickly. Body, wheels, and the wing, which is clip-on also, so it can be removed. And the wing is made out of a very flexible plastic. Actually, the whole thing is made out of very flexible plastic. I mean, this thing has got a lot of flex to it. Okay, I do like the shocks. They are nice. But put the wheels on it, and we will have us a buggy. So, on the internet, this is a very expensive buggy. Now, when I bought it, it was $79. I don't even think you can buy the kit anymore. It comes in a brushless version, but it's 150 to 170 bucks. I paid $79 for the kit, and I paid for the motor and a receiver, I mean ESC, and receiver and steering servo, probably $100. So it's probably comparable to the ready to run, but I don't know what kind of brushless system comes in it, and I would rather put my own electronics in. So if you buy it ready to run, and I got the tread wrong on one of these tires. I don't know which way these daggone tires are supposed to be treading, but I would think I got this one on backwards. So I'll have to fix that, because they do have a pattern that is definitely goes one way. Now they may tell you that runs better one way or the other way. I don't know. That's hard to say. But I'll put them on the way I think they need to go on. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever built a racing vehicle, per se. if you want to call it that. Again, I'll be using a fly sky receiver, so I'm not going to put this on with any screws right now. And I have to put a battery connector on here. And I use T60s most of the time. So yeah, not my typical deal, but I always like the looks of them. Be fun to drive. I don't think I'd ever race, actually. I'm not much, if you haven't noticed from my channel, I almost prefer building over driving. I usually get my grandkids to test drive my stuff. Figure if they can drive it and it don't wreck, it's probably pretty good. But I like to build. I like to build quality stuff, don't get me wrong. I'm not building shelf queens. They're drivable. They're all. I'm going to do some trailing. Getting ready to go on vacation to South Dakota to do a little trout fishing and watch the buffalo roundup in Custer State Park. And I'm going to take a couple vehicles with me and do some trail running in South Dakota. So that ought to be interesting. And also up into Wisconsin. My son lives in Wisconsin. We're going to visit him and do some RVing, part of the RVing and RCing channel. So we'll get some new video for that too, for those of you who watch the channel for RV stuff. But this is my first venture into an RC like this, and this was pretty simple. I don't even know if they have kits per se. I mean, I have to take that back. Back in the 80s, 90s, whatever, 90s I guess, I built a team associated Buggy, which was a very involved kit, my first kit ever, and I had a lot of fun building that, and I had a lot of fun driving it. So this is my back into the buggy world and not spending $500-600 at the moment to see if I'm even interested in doing this. But I mean, it's cool. I like the look of it. I'm sure it's fun to drive. Figure out how this body goes on. It's gotta go this way. Okay. So there's the body. Body's got a hole in it for the antennae. Alrighty, so my first speed buggy, racing buggy, ZD Racing. I do like the suspension. It's very smooth, very smooth. I would imagine this would do very well on the track. But not knowing much about buggies per se, I would have to say that this is not too bad. Could definitely use a metal plate on the bottom, but otherwise, yeah, that's not a bad machine. So there you go, guys. My first off-road buggy, 4-wheel drive. All right, so again, servo, receiver, and it'll be ready to go. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Y'all have a great day.